I'm doing my Constitution study group. I do it every week on Wednesdays. This is no different. Usually I do it earlier in the day, but today I got a little delayed with some work, and I'm doing it in the evening. Alan, how are you doing? Your scooter's all jacked up? Where were you going 10 miles from? That's a long haul. That's a really long haul. So I'll be drinking some tea. I'm gonna drink some beautiful white tea. This is called Shomei, Chinese white tea. Richa-san! Konnichiwa. これは塩茶、白茶。観光のお茶です。I did figure my cloud out. Alan, thank you for asking me. It was just like another hour of work. I had to put my head down and do it, and I did it. I got it done. So today, Constitution Study Group. What I do in this is I look at a relevant current issue and then look back on all of the texts surrounding this issue in the original constitutional text, as well as other supporting texts such as the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist papers. So it does get a little studious. It does get a little studious here on Wednesdays, but it's fun. We'll have fun. I'm sure of it. News? Well, let's talk about some news today. We're going to talk about some news today. It'll be harmless. These are short streams, so short and easy. Short and easy. And I may spin some fire. I tell you what, if we hold on to +1, I will spin fire for y'all. So the issue today that I want to talk about is the hierarchy of power between state and federal law. Hey Pikachu Box, good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. Last time you were here, you were Goku. Where's Goku? I thought maybe you changed your name to Goku. Pikachu Box, I want your address so I can send you your gift. Even if you don't want the tea, you can gift it to your family or friends or something. Everybody loves tea. Hajimemashite! Na-chan! Yoroshiku! Welcome! Hazel! Hey Hazel, how'd it go? Your stream was so freaking lit. You were so filled with people. Ocha ga suki. Yay! Ima shiro cha. Kanko no ocha desu. Shomei. Nomimashou. Let's drink it. Did you got in trouble because we were like hashtagging your stream and like people were knowing who you were? People called you out? Is that the reason why? Because yeah, Hazel, you like have so many friends on this app. Of course they all want to come support you and they all like know you. Oh, it's not that. What was it? What happened? You were in Boston for the tea party? Alan, I didn't know you were that old, but dang, okay, I got it. Okay, so, Na-chan, watashi no namae wa Erisu desu. Nice to meet you. Oh, you like Chinese tea? Good. 何の観光のお茶はあなたの一番好きなですか？はじめまして。ここは静岡の茶畑です。静岡、中山。これインドネシア、これ観光、これは観光ユナンです。I'm sure. I mean, I got a message from you on Instagram, so I figured that much. All right, so the relevant issue, the article that I found. Oh, who is that? Let's see, what just happened? Hey, Destroy, thanks for following me. Destroy VZDP. Oh, Arrow 1. Interesting. Pikachu. I love Sri Lanka tea. Sri Lanka no cha. Watashi mo. I know, yeah, I noticed that. That was kind of weird. That happened. I'm sorry, Hazel. I don't think that'll ruin your chances. I think they see that you're popular, and because that's ultimately what they want. They want like you to be attracting more people to come to your broadcast. Pikachu, how you doing? Pikachu, you missed Hazel's broadcast. But yeah, the current issue that I'm going to talk about today is in regards to the Texas law that was just overturned by a federal court. Oh, look who it is! Hey! That's my Fat Albert. Am I muted? No. Oh, what Pikachu are you talking about? Oh, Pikachu 8889, the troll Pikachu. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Nick. Nick, you missed Hazel's, okay, I'm muted. He can't hear me, so I can talk about Nick all I want. You were out of home at 12 a.m. for work? Momo! Welcome in. Where's Cool Cat? I know, where's Cool Cat? We miss Cool Cat. So yeah, there was like a big controversy because Texas passed a very dramatic anti-abortion law. And you know what? We're not going to talk about the politics and what we believe in or whatever. This is not what this forum's about. What I want to talk about is the new news that's coming out today about the federal court overruling that law. And so what I want to learn about is like, what is the hierarchy of power when it comes to federal law versus state law? So I think that'd be kind of a cool thing for us to know, as like we go through our lives and interact with more stories like this, to understand like how the heck was that law passed, and why is it not being enforced now? Her thing was over. I was like 4 hours ago. She did it 4 hours ago. She killed it. What's your support? What's your let's look at it. I can see it. Freaking 14,000, almost 15,000. You're at a +2, and like no way you're not going to get a +2. So you're almost a D. She's tripping. I don't know. Yeah, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled. So like that's what I want to understand is like, what is that hierarchy? Because when I first read the Constitution, yeah, she got it. She freaking scored so much fan noise, and it was pretty organic, and no one was coming through there just like blaring big gifts. It was just a bunch of people giving support noise. Yeah, Hazel, you're almost a D rank. Hey, before you know it, you're gonna be like totally entrenched in all of this information. All right, putting my tea in my guy Juan because I'm ready to drink some tea. Yeah, Pikachu, you totally could have just been like that. Well, no, she's tripping because someone did ask her, hey, isn't it only supposed to be 30 minutes like the audition? Which actually, I think the audition, when I auditioned, it was only 20 minutes. Hey, but I got an interesting letter from, oh, Hazel, you're going to do well. You're going to do well. Pikachu, you missed out on getting to see Hazel's beauty. We all got to see her beauty, and you were missing out. I know you like to keep track of all of the beautiful women on this app. Oh, it's 20 minutes? Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, so I got a letter from the agency today on the Discord with a warning, Pikachu. Not directly a warning, but it was just like a general letter to everybody in the network to say, hey, just a reminder, here are the standards that Pococha has. And it says that as of now, forward, all streamers... Oh, you have the list of all the thick streamers? Pikachu. The reminder was, hey, you cannot deviate from, right? You cannot deviate from your niche content, and if you do that, you have to notify them, and that like deviations from your niche content would include like broadcasting yourself, like watching a movie or watching your laptop. It was kind of interesting how that came out. Oh, and then also it says from this point forward, all new people auditioning, part of the audition is reaching D rank. And that if you don't maintain D rank within the first 2 months, they'll, and then by month 6, yeah, right. By month 6, you have to be C rank. I guess that's how they'll like renew your contract. Hey Phoebe, welcome in. Nice to meet you. My name is Elise. Yeah, what happened, Hazel? I would have thought that you would have been like impeccable, like to the T. I thought that you would have had that all set up. Yeah, but it's not hard. It's not hard as long as you like are regularly engaged with the app. Like it is hard though if you're not like trying to stream every day and you're not like working on it and you're not like understanding your meter. Then yeah, it's very easy to rank down. I couldn't imagine ranking down to an E again, but anything is possible. You get ranked down if you like stop paying attention and stop engaging. Nachan-san, arigato, cha arigato. What meter? Alan? The meter. That reminds me, let me check out my meter. Oh, I'm at 0 now. If we want a +1, I need to get some support noise. Anybody ready to rank up? Cool Cat is in the house. But yeah, you'll miss some action. Cool Cat, you missed some action earlier today. Had some people roll through and hang out. Oh, Tef, you want to rank me at an A+? Tef is on Twitch. Tef is on Twitch. Trying to troll me from Twitch, Tef. I see you. All right, let me start getting studious. You ignored the combo. No, Cool Cat. Mecha. Kanji dekinai, sumasen. Oh yeah, back to the Texas law thing. Okay, yeah, let's read this article. So first of all, let me read the article. I think that'll be a good start. So it says, let's read the NPR. So this is from NPR News. Hazel, you're a mini fan! Congratulations! Warateru. Waranai. I don't know. You detailed it to streaming? Yeah, Hazel, thank you for that. Thanks for that support. We got 10 more minutes on this meter if anybody else wants to level up. Tef, you've never dropped an emote of yourself in my chat. That's amazing. All right, so this article is coming from NPR News. NPR News. Yeah, Alan got cored yesterday. He figured it out. He finally figured out how it works. I cored so many people this morning, and then they came to my channel and started coring me, which was really nice. The pig cosplay, the guy that plays Porco Rosso from Japan. A bunch of Japanese people came in today. In fact, we have a Japanese friend here too, right now. Dare? Kore. Nan-chan. Nan-chan. I follow shimashita. Oh, Tef, there's so many of you now. It's a good thing I don't have, like, the thing that, like, bounces you around so I can just, like, knock your face out. Boom! Get out of here, Tef. Pikachu Box, thank you for the spam. Okay, so a U.S. judge blocks enforcement of Texas' controversial new abortion law. Let's read this. Yeah, I follow you, Pikachu Box. Of course I do. Oh, no, I didn't. There, you're followed. Okay, so a federal judge has blocked enforcement of Texas' controversial new abortion law, granting an emergency request from the Justice Department. The department sought the preliminary injunction just days after it sued Texas over its new abortion law, known as SB 8. The law bans almost all abortions in the state after about 6 weeks of pregnancy, even in cases of rape, sexual abuse, and incest. All right, so that's the law. We're not going to be talking about this. So, yeah, like, if y'all want to express an opinion in the comments, you're welcome to. We'll make a judgment about, you know, if there's a lack of kindness in any of them, and we'll discuss. Watching. Arigato. The department sought the preliminary injunction just days after it sued Texas over its new abortion law. So they actually sued the state. This is interesting. So that's what I want to understand. Like, what is, like, the constitutional, you know, kind of hierarchy for all of that? And it's a 113-page ruling. U.S. District Court Judge Robert Pittman said that from the moment SB 8 went into effect last month, women have been unlawfully prevented from exercising control over their lives in ways that are protected by the Constitution. Yes, Pikachu, that's what we're talking about. 8889. Hey, Narrow Valley, welcome to the broadcast. It's nice to meet you. My name is Elise. He added, other courts may find a way to avoid this conclusion is theirs to decide. This court will not sanction one more day of this offensive deprivation of such an important right. Yeah, in the case there is life-threatening things, like there, I'm wondering too, because like a lot of times when women have miscarriages, they have to like have like the, you know, they have to have the procedure, the same procedure that's used in like a late-term abortion. So I'm wondering if they're going to outlaw doctors to even perform that, because that's a health issue that if like a woman that miscarries, if she doesn't properly like clean, you know, like clean, they have to like, there's like a procedure to help, you know. So Pikachu says, from what I know, feds are given power over anything not expressly prohibited by the Constitution. The Constitution is a document that restricts the federal government, puts them in a box of what they can do. That is true. That is very true. Yep. And that's what I know too. So like, what I really want to know is the specifics on, you know, because the Constitution also does have a pretty straightforward statement that the states have jurisdiction and power to make the decisions for themselves. So let's finish this this article first. I have another article for us to read that would give us more detail about these hierarchies. All right, I gotta go. I'll be right back. I gotta go get Holy Cow really fast. Holy Cow's missing the party. I'm back. I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I'm here. But sometimes, like, these procedures is not technically a termination. Like it could have naturally terminated on its own, but they still need to do the procedure to, like, you know, make it safe. Hey, Holy Cow, welcome in. Good to see you, friend. Let's see. We're so close. What does Holy Cow need to level up? You'll go up 1K? I'm doing a Constitution study group. Oh! Yeah. Thanks for the hearts of flutter, Holy Cow. Yeah, we're talking about that. We're talking about that, Alan. And so, like, this law is part of that, too. It's not, it's like, it's there's, like, life-threatening things of why these procedures are actually needed. Hopefully that works. If not, I'll level myself up. He added, other courts may find a way to avoid this conclusion is theirs to decide. This court will not sanction one more day of this offensive deprivation of such an important right. Hey, Craig, how you doing? How you doing, friend? Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, but even for, oh, thank you for the happy, Cool Cat. Happy. Bitcoin, you want to be happy? Come on. Oh, Bitcoin wants to say hello. He's happy too. Oh, Cool Cat. Eruome. Koome. Congratulations. All right, now the meter is good. Now the meter should be good, but who knows? Fucking last week this happened. This happened last week, and the meter just popped up. The last minute. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland calls the court's decision a victory for women in Texas and for the rule of law. It is the foremost responsibility of the Department of Justice to defend the Constitution. We will continue to protect constitutional rights against all who would seek to undermine them. Oh, thank you. Yes, he's my cute dog. Arigato, mata ne, bye bye, Na-chan. Arigato, bye bye. Oh, harto arigato. Harto arigato. Eruome. Yeah, I'm speaking Japanese. Right. Hey, King. Good to see you, friend. Should I trust the meter? Hey, Craig, you became a mini fan. Heck yeah. Good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. What did they try to do? Yeah, I mean, that's where politics comes in, you know? They can use... Yeah, the meter... I don't know. It's a close one. It's a close one. With 1 minute left. All right, see you later, Pikachu Box. Oh, you can't see the meter? All right, let's just secure it. Holy cow, thank you. Thank you, Holy Cow. All right, now Holy Cow's at 6,000 fan noise. We're definitely should be good now. I don't think they're changing the amendment. I don't think that's happening. I just keep checking it and it's not changing. What if it is? What if it is? Holy cow. Time ended. Sweet. Oh, I barely made it. Do you see that? I only made it by 100 points. Yeah, finally. Finally the meter worked on my if it's a law they're changing, that should be voted on. Yeah, that got voted. So, I know, let me finish this article. Maybe we'll get more details about how this actually happened. It is the foremost responsibility of the Department of Justice to defend the Constitution. All right, we saw that. Pittman's ruling blocks enforcement of the Texas law on a temporary basis, and it's unclear how long it will be in effect. Texas has already filed notice that it will appeal Pittman's ruling to the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and the state is expected to seek an immediate stay from the Circuit Court on Wednesday's orders. Right? It changed. Was it okay, though? I guess I can look at the report really quick. Oh, it did change at the last minute, and it's calculating. It should round up, though. Cool Cat says it's a Texas state law passed by the Texas state government, the state Congress, and signed by the government. It has nothing to do with the Constitution. Yeah. Well, and so that's why the Supreme Court, the federal, the Department of Justice is able to say, hey, actually this law that you made does inflict on constitutional rights. And so that's what I'm assuming happened here, where they had the hierarchy to come in and say, actually, it can't go down like this. Texas has already filed to notice that it will appeal Pittman's ruling to the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and the state is expected to seek an immediate stay from the Circuit Court on Wednesday's order. The Department of Justice argument. The Justice Department filed this lawsuit against Texas last month, arguing that SB 8 is unconstitutional. It says the bill violates the Supremacy Clause as well as the equal protection afforded under the 14th Amendment. It also says it violates U.S. Supreme Court precedent. It also takes aim at the bill's novel means of enforcement. It allows private citizens to bring civil suits against anyone who helps a woman get an abortion, and to collect at least $10,000 in damages if they prevail in court. Well, and that's why they have, they're having a court decision. It's not like they're just deciding behind closed doors. Like, there's an actual case going on here, and the evidence is being brought forward. The federal government had a right to review if that law conflicts with the federal law or the U.S. Constitution, which is what I just said. There's 3 points of how they say the law is unconstitutional. The department says that the enforcement mechanisms is really an unconstitutional attempt to sidestep judicial review to prevent women and providers from challenging the law in federal court. Judge Pittman agreed in his decision Wednesday night. A person's right under the Constitution to choose to obtain an abortion prior to fetal viability is well established, he wrote, fully aware that depriving its citizens of this right by direct state action would be flagrantly unconstitutional. The state contrived an unprecedented and transparent statutory scheme to do just that. Of the 3 points, yes. It violates the Supremacy Clause, which the next article I look at, we will look at exactly what does the Supremacy Clause mean, and that's kind of the juice of what we're talking about here. It violates that one. It violates the equal protection afforded under the 14th Amendment, so it violates the 14th Amendment, and then it violates U.S. Supreme Court precedent, which I think is like Roe versus Wade. I think that's like the really, they're trying to overturn the Texas law. So this is not a federal law they're trying to overturn. This is specifically to Texas. And the Constitution tells Texas they are allowed to make their own laws. Like, that's what the Constitution says. We got that. They're allowed to make their own laws. They have to make their own laws. They have to manage their own well-being. That's what the Constitution says. But if a state starts to make decisions and do things that's outside of the bounds of even the Constitution itself, then that's when, you know, the federal government can come and do what they're doing right now. So that's what we're talking about now. And again, we're not talking about the specifics or the ethics or the values of this stuff right now. We're talking just about kind of the hierarchy of power, like kind of this protocol that's going on. But it has to be by the people. Well, and that's what the Supreme Court is meant to be, representing the people, just as our politicians and our executive are meant to be representing the people. Yes, Pikachu AAA9. That's exactly what's happening. Well, yeah, so these laws are also made by the people, like supposedly, but there's no people involved. This is just like certain talking heads making all these decisions. But yeah, and symbolically they represent the people. You know, that at least that's what the Constitution says. A person's right under the Constitution to choose to obtain an abortion. Okay, well, he announced the department's lawsuit. Garland warned that the Texas bill and its enforcement scheme, if allowed to stand, could provide a model for other states to pass a similar law to restrict abortion or other constitutionally protected rights. On this point as well, Judge Pittman appeared to agree. He said that by stepping in and issuing an injunction now, he could head off such a possibility. Yeah, everybody's representing us. Right, Pikachu. Good point. King, thank you. I'm spilling some major tea right now. We're talking about, you know, states getting in fights with the federal government. No, the judge is not. Like, this is just simply a court case. Like, there's an ongoing court case going on right now. Like, the law hasn't actually been overstepped just yet. It may, you know, after the court case is done, it may. Had this court not acted on its sound authority to provide relief to the U.S., any number of states could enact legislation that deprives citizens of their constitutional rights, with no legal remedy to challenge that deprivation, without the concern that a federal court would enter an injunction, he wrote. Texas has defended the constitutionality of SB 8 and had urged the court to deny the federal government's motion and dismiss the case. All right, so there's a back and forth going on. There's a back and forth. Okay, so reaction from both sides of the issue. In a statement, the anti-abortion rights group, Texas Right of Life, called Pittman's decision wildly broad, but added, "We are confident that the Texas Heartbeat Act will ultimately withstand this legal challenge and succeed where other states' heartbeat bills have not." Abortion rights groups cheered the ruling. While this fight is far from over, says Alexis McGill Johnson, president and CEO of Planned Parenthood Federation of America, don't worry, we're not going to talk about that. We are hopeful that the court's order blocking SB 8 will allow Texas abortion providers to resume services as soon as possible. That sounds sus. It's such a controversial topic to talk about. But again, we're not talking about the topic itself. We're talking about the constitutional structures. Well, that's the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court does not need a jury. The Supreme Court has justices. And they, you know, it's like a whole panel of judges. Yes, that was the Justice Department. It wasn't the Supreme Court. But I think the Supreme Court is going to hear the case, right? They'll be the ones to hear the case. Pikachu, thank you so much for helping Alan understand this. This is cool. This is the first time I brought Constitution Study Group to Pococha. I think we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Yeah, the judges rule over. They vote. And I mean, Alan, that would be ideal if the people could be the people, not just the representatives of the people, but if the people could be present and engage with every single law that got created and voted on, it would be ideal. But it just doesn't work that way. We have representatives representing us. Yes, Pikachu. That is correct. All right, so I found this other article. I think it's like a law firm, but I just like the way that the article was presented to learn about this supremacy clause of what that means. Who's in here? I see someone else in here. Oh, Mike D, you're back. Okay, so when does federal law preempt state law? The U.S. Constitution declares that federal law is the supreme law of the land. As a result, when a federal law conflicts with a state or local law, the federal law will supersede the other law or laws. Okay, so here's another issue, is that like Texas can't be making, like literally Texas can't be making their own law because the federal law, supersedes all of that. This is commonly known as preemption. In practice, it's usually not as simple as this. Determining whether federal law preempts state law requires an extensive analysis. Congress can include specific language in a statute that preempts state law, but even in the absence of such language, preemption could be implied by other factors. The U.S. Supreme Court has established requirements for preemption of state law. Meanwhile, an executive order issued by a president in the late 1990s addresses preemption by federal regulations. Oh, Mike D, you just got home. Good for you. Love and loyalty, thank you for that like. Thank you for being in here. It's good to see you again. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You want me to read what I just read again, Pikachu? The U.S. Supreme Court has established requirements for preemption of state law. Meanwhile, an executive order issued by President Clinton in the late 1990s addresses preemption by federal regulations. Yeah, I mean, we live in a federal system. That's what the Constitution states, is that, like, the federal system supersedes all the other systems, but the federal system also understands that there are local issues that only a state can manage. And so the state is given jurisdiction to, like, make their own laws. But if any of those laws conflict with the superseding federal law, then there's no go. It's like drinking age. Like, let's say federal law has drinking age at a certain thing. Like, the different states cannot just say, oh, well, we're going to make ours different. Like, they have to go by the same federal thing or more strict. Like, basically, I think you could make laws that are more strict than what the federal law is. But if you make it, like, less strict or less covering than what the federal law covers, then the federal law is going to supersede your state law. Yes, Pikachu, exactly. It's the checks and balances, yes. Because it's a tricky thing, because we do need to give jurisdiction to states. It's very true. Like, the country is very large. There's different concerns. There's different stakeholders. There's different issues and values. That makes sense. But ultimately, if we're all going to be within the same federal system, then each of those states are playing within the same, like, overarching rules. Hey, MJ, thanks for the like. We're doing a study group. We're being smart. We're being studious. How'd you like that, Hazel? Hazel gave you a lot of hee-hees in her broadcast. All right, let's continue. Under the Supremacy Clause found in Article 6, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution, both the Constitution and federal law supersede state laws. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution defines the powers of the U.S. Congress. It grants some powers exclusively to Congress, such as legislation regarding immigration, bankruptcy, and currency. States do not have the authority to create their own immigration or bankruptcy systems or to mint their own currency. So there's even more gritty details about where states do not have jurisdiction. Yes, Alan, exactly. That's exactly how it works. Like, so we have, like, the baseline laws that everybody has to partake in and everybody has to play in, but then states can, like, make specific laws for specific, like, local needs and local values. And King is just over here laughing. Yeah. MJ, where you have the study group. I told you. I didn't lie. Like, no cap. I told you. This is a study group. Hug Wolf! Hi! Oh, Hug Wolf, you're here. Is Tef still here? Tef, like, Hug Wolf's here. Tef might be sleeping. He told me he was going to lurk and sleep. Hug Wolf, it's so good to see you. Oh, let me give you a proper hello. Oh, it's so nice to meet you on Twitch, in my broadcast, in my stream. I've got Bitcoin. Hey, Hug Wolf, I want you to meet my dog. This is my dog, Bitcoin. He's a baby boy. He's a baby. He's a baby boy. I missed him so much when I was in Europe. But it was so nice to meet you in Copenhagen and to share a meal with you. That was so awesome. Even got to share some boba tea. Oh, yeah? Let me drink some tea. Wrong class, MJ. MJ, wrong class. What? I'm gonna let you go down. Go take a nap on the couch. The law is illegal because it breaks federal law. Exactly, Pikachu. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about like, oh, it's 6 a.m. Is today your day off? Don't you usually go to work? Don't you usually go to work pretty early in the morning? Oh, and here's my tea service. This is usually where I do my tea brewing. I'm drinking a beautiful white tea tonight. So this is usually how I brew my loose leaf tea. This is a Chinese white tea called Shomei. But the matcha I gave you, how's it going? Did you try it yet, Hug Wolf? Yeah, now the judges have the final say, so that's why the people don't get to... You know where the people get to have some right in that is when they vote for the executive, because the executive is the one who gets to choose the Supreme Court justices that come in. So, I mean, Alan, if you're really concerned about people being engaged with that, like that is the indirect way that we influence those decisions and those politics there. So Hug Wolf, when you're brewing like really high quality tea like this, you can re-infuse the leaf over and over and over again. You can just keep making new tea. It's really kind of cool. And that's how, you know, when you get like higher quality tea, you can get a lot of tea out of it. Cool. Yeah, so the best way I would say for you to try it out, Hug Wolf, since you probably don't have all of the equipments. Oh, you had the closing shift yesterday, so today you get a well, you're still waking up early. I guess your body's used to it, so on your day off, you still sleep in. Okay, so with the matcha, since you don't have all the equipments, like, you know, usually you'd want to have like a bowl and a whisk, but you can just use like a water bottle. Like a small, you know, water bottle, and just put like a heaping teaspoon of the powder inside the water bottle and then shake it. And the water does not have to be hot. It can be hot, but it can be cool too. And you just shake it until the powder all dissolves into the water. And then as far as like strength, you can gauge that on your own. But I wouldn't recommend taking anything more than a heaping teaspoon on the matcha. All right, students, let me get back to this. Can make laws within, okay. Can make laws within the state just stay within the U.S. Constitution? Yes, Alan. Yes, states make new laws all the time, like in that way. The judge doesn't make a law, but can rule that a law is legal or illegal. Yes, Pikachu. So new law is not being made. The judges are just saying, hey, this law can't go. Like, can't do it. It's not legal. And then the president chooses the judges, yeah. So, like, the only way that we can be engaged with this is totally indirectly. And sometimes these judges, these justices, are in their seats for decades. So, you know, it's not just one voted in president that chooses the entire panel of justices. It's just who's there rotating in. And there was a big controversy last year when Trump was on his way out that he put into place a very conservative, very controversial Supreme Court justice. And like, it's it was very kind of unprecedented that a president on their way out was in such a rush to put that woman in. Most presidents would hand it off to the next president to handle that as like first action. Yeah, so Hug Wolf, like honestly, the matcha is good quality enough that you don't need to add the sugar and honey. So I'd recommend that the first time you try it, like just drink it alone. And even if it tastes too strong, you can always add more water, or you can move it into another bottle, a bigger bottle, so that you can add more water to it. And again, like because it's so high quality, it should have like a rich thickness, already kind of creamy on its own without needing to add the milk and sugar. So just try it. Like that's, and you have enough in that bag that you can mess some up. So even if you do one and you feel like it's not good, you can always try another one. But once you do find the matcha preparation that you like, you may become addicted to it. You know, I'm just letting you know it's happened, because it's good. It makes you feel good. And that's great, you know, and I'd be more than happy to make sure that you keep having matcha for that addiction. But like, you can't like overdose on it. You know, some people think, oh, if I put more matcha, then it'll make me feel even better. Like I'll have more of a buzz from it. And really, honestly, you can't. Like there's like a plateau of the effect that you get from it, the mental focus effect that I told you about. So, you know, just do it small bits at a time. So Love and Loyalty says policy does not trump over rights. We go for the constitutional rights in our country. Yes, exactly. So that's why if there's a policy that's compromising those rights, the Supreme Court's going to come in and say, hey, you know, can't do this. Exactly, Pikachu. That's the only way that we can engage with this process. A governor appoints judges as well. Actually, I think a lot of states do allow us to vote on judges. I know here in Nevada, we get to vote on our judges. Yeah, the president picks the federal judges. But the federal judges have no stand in the state as long as it stays within the U.S. Yes, exactly. So yeah, they're not going to start nosing their stuff into people's stuff until a case is brought to them, such as this case. Yeah, you're not gonna need to add milk. Irish tea or coffee. They put a lot of sugar in their tea, I believe, too. The Irish. All right, hey, enjoy your sleep, Hug Wolf. I appreciate you so much coming by and saying hello, and it's so good to see you through the Twitch. Have a good rest. Hug Wolf, the person I'm talking to on Twitch, is somebody that I met in Copenhagen. Tef introduced her to me. We had a very lovely afternoon. Actually, we streamed together on Pococha. Who was there? I think only Jamie was there. Jamie Singer. Hey Leia, welcome in. All right, let's get back to this. The states share some of the powers granted to Congress by Section 8, such as the power to lay and collect taxes. So that's why the state, you know, we have state taxes and federal taxes. They're separate things because the states are allowed to do that. Oh, thank you. I'm good. Thanks for coming in, Leia. We're having a little study group. We're learning a little bit right now. The people need to be following so they can attend and step in where it exceeds the state. Exactly, Alan. Like, and this was happening. People were protesting when MJ wrong class. When before this law got voted on, when it was first proposed, you know, by the state Congress, there was protests. There were people that were like, no, you know. So people are keeping track of this. Like, there are nonprofits and advocacy groups that's all they do, is they keep up with all the laws that are gonna be voted on so that people can do their best to engage with it. But honestly, it's pretty futile. It's pretty futile because the politicians that are doing the actual voting, they're already decided, be it through their own moral compass or via their financial ties to whatever interests. So it's like, it's pretty futile for people to be engaged with this system. It is. Why are so many people sick? Do you know a lot of people sick, Leia? Yeah. Come study. Yeah, MJ, thanks. That's gonna bring them all in, MJ. Yeah, there is a lot of people sick. A 5-month-old has COVID? Oh my goodness, that's pretty sad. I can't imagine for the parents how stressed out they must be. But I hope all of y'all stay healthy. People don't watch their local news. I'll be honest, I don't. I mean, I do subscribe to like the print edition of local news. Hey Dave, I'm good. How are you? Dave, how is the search for your wife going? Texas Law Review. Cool cat, thank you. Thank you. Making me seem smart over here. Congress has authority over certain matters that cross state lines, while states have authority over matters within their own borders. Preemption can arise in any area over which Congress has authority, but it is most often an issue in areas in which Congress and the states share authority. Hey, Damage. Yeah? Damage or Destroy? Destroy, welcome back in. Good to see you, Destroy. Our Japanese friend here. His name is Destroy. Ima wa America no benkyou shimasu. So the Preemption Doctrine. The Supreme Court decides the Preemption Doctrine in Altria Group versus Good in 2008. State laws that conflict with federal law are without effect. The decision discussed the differences between express and implied preemption and identified ways to determine whether Congress intended federal law to preempt state law. The court also cautioned that when evaluating evidence of constitutional intent, courts should err on the side of state rather than federal authority. MJ sucks history. Thank you. You're like the class clown today, MJ. You are the class clown. Woo! Yeah. Woo, that's for sure. Yeah, how do I explain to the Japanese what's going on? It's a MJ studying law. May I be excused. MJ, you're gonna need that hall pass if you wanna get out of here. MJ does need a fucking hall pass with all of the room hopping that he does on this app. Okay, so expressive preemption. We're still learning. So there's two different types of preemption. Do I have a baby? No, I do not, Jimmy. Jimmy, it's nice to meet you. My name is Elise. Let's start out with that information. You do have a hall pass? Are you allowed to be out here? I'll be like the hall monitor. Are you allowed to be out here? Do you have an NFL girlfriend, Jimmy? That's cool. She's my teacher. MJ, you trying to be teacher's pet? You trying to be teacher's pet now, huh? All right, so let's get back to the two types of preemption. Expressive preemption. When Congress declares that a statute preempts federal law, this is known as express preemption. This usually involves a preemption clause in the statute. As mentioned earlier, if a preemption clause is in any way ambiguous, the Supreme Court's ruling in Altria directs courts to consider the ambiguity in favor of state law. This includes evaluating whether the state law at issue falls within the scope of what Congress intended federal law to preempt. Mike got milk. MJ pet. Don't put a collar on you. Well, I mean, I have to. I can't have wild animals running around. Nuh-uh. In Arizona versus U.S. of 2012, the Supreme Court held that federal immigration law preempted a state law penalizing undocumented immigrants who worked without authorization. The Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986 contained an express preemptive clause codifying at 8 U.S.C. section 1324H2. The court found that Arizona's laws was an obstacle to the regulatory system Congress chose. So there's the example of express preemption. Like there's a direct violation of the federal law. Now, implied preemption. Let's see what this means. If Congress does not include an express provision for preemption in the text of a statute, a court could still find that the statute preempts state law. Implied preemption can occur when state and federal laws directly conflict with each other, or when federal laws dominate a field that a state law seeks to regulate. All right, so I think that this case that we're talking about right here with the Texas law is this implied preemption. That's the issue that we're using here. Jimmy, what are you talking about? Something, something. Exactly, MJ the 8. Something, something. What is that? MJ have Denishan? I don't know what that means, MJ. All right, so now with implied preemption, there's even more. So the first is conflict preemption. Our opinion means shit, actually. Alan, yeah, so the purpose of this class or of this study group is not to... Oh, detention. Now I get it. Detention, you want to stay after class and do some extra credit, MJ? Yeah, so the purpose of this study group is not for us to have any meaningful contribution to what's going on in Texas. It's for us to better understand the systems that we work within. Because as you had pointed out, people do not engage with these things, and when it becomes important, they don't know what to do, right? So I have, this hope that if we do these kind of exercises together, we will become more mindful in our own lives, in our own communities, to be engaged with these things, so we don't, get surprised and shocked, with some laws that, violate our rights. Put him in the corner. MJ went in the corner with his big dunks cap. MJ's gonna have the big dunks cap on. Mrs. Jackson, oh my god. Are you for real? Oh, that's my friend. He's calling. I gotta go soon, actually. Let me finish this article. So a conflict may occur between federal and state law when they impose different requirements on a party. This could make it impossible for a party to comply with both federal and state laws, or even to put a party in a position in which compliance with one law puts them in violation of the other. Okay, so then field preemption. Field preemption may occur when federal laws and regulations have so thoroughly covered a particular field that no room remains for the states. The Arizona decision mentioned earlier is an example of express field preemption based on an authority expressly granted by Congress to the Constitution. The Supreme Court has also recognized implied field preemption based on the sheer volume of federal regulations. Back Queen, thank you for the like. Yeah, so the way you change amendments or add amendments is... there's a process, and that's all written out in the Constitution as well, that there can either be a constitutional convention where everything can be rehauled, which we've never had one of those. We only had one in the very beginning before it got signed, but we haven't had one again. And I kind of had an idea one time, because I've been doing this study group every week for almost 2 years now. And when I was researching the amendment, editing and adding part of it, I was thinking, man, it'd be really cool to have like one of those conventions again and just like kind of go back to the drawing board and kind of start from scratch to move it up. But I don't know. My friend says that that's crazy. Like that neither side of the political parties of the political spectrum would allow that to happen. But I think it'd be like a kind of a cool idea. And the other way is similar to how laws are passed. Like first the Congress or the House of Representatives has to bring the law forward. They have to vote on it, or the amendment. They have to vote on it, and then it goes to the other Congress, and then they have to vote on it, and then it goes to the president, and then that executive gets to vote on it. And once it's been passed, then it will be added in. The new amendment will be added in. You think that's shitty, Alan? Hey, David, welcome back in. I'm good. Are you okay? 2/3 of the states can change it, or the U.S. Congress can change amendments. Yes. Yeah, that's a vote. Yeah, 2/3 of the state have to vote on it. Yeah, that's like the way the vote works. So yeah, marijuana law, like federal marijuana law could be one of these examples. Just like current federal abortion laws is what's in question with this current issue that we're talking about with the Texas law. But like cannabis is actually a very good subject to look at with this thing because yeah, it's very likely that, oh, thank you for the nice, Leia. It's very likely that the cannabis will be legalized on a federal level, which then would make it very complicated for each of the states to regulate. Of course, a state could be, I don't even know. That's an interesting question. Like, what kind of jurisdiction would the state, if cannabis was legalized on a federal level? They would probably legalize it on a federal level where they would still give power to the states to decide if they wanted to or not. But at least it wouldn't be like a federal crime, you know, like it is now. Because like there are states that do have it legal, but then federally it's not. So like even you're within that state, but then you're on federal property, such as like a park or something, like a national park. Then you could be charged with the federal laws. Even with the Congress opposing it, the states can force a change, 2/3 voting to change it. The states can ratify enough states that it changes federal laws. Yep. The what, Alan? What does that mean? Okay, so rules for regulatory preemption. On August 4th, 1999, the Clinton administration issued Executive Order 13132 entitled Federalism. It outlined a policy for how regulatory agencies of the executive branch should approach regulations that might conflict with state law. Section 4 of the order specifically addresses preemption. It states that agencies should restrict their interpretations of their own regulations so that they can preempt state law in only 3 situations. Congress expressly authorized preemption. Congress intended preemption based on clear evidence, or state law conflicts with the regular enforcement or exercise of federal law. These are still generally accepted as the 3 main situations in which preemption may occur. So that's it. That's the end of that article. And I think that's the end of my stream now. Because I made a meeting with a friend that I'm already late to. But, let me see if there's anybody to raid, any of my friends to raid. Australia Train is broadcasting. Homies for Nomies, doing ASMR. Hey, in Primes. Yeah, Cool Cat. I know I didn't go into as much detail as I usually like to do with this stream, but I got caught up with some work and started late. But I'll do it again on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, I do this Constitution Study Group, which is kind of cool. I always end up learning a lot. MJ passed the class. You passed, MJ. Good job. Good job. You passed. Let's see. I got +1. The meter helped me out. The meter did officially help me out with that +1. So I tell you what. You didn't learn nothing, MJ? Really? Hey, GGG, welcome in. To understand exactly, you need to be efficient about the Constitution. Yes, and that's why I'm doing this. Cool meter. That was like, that's a really badass meter, isn't it? That's a super badass meter. Thanks to, how many cores do I have now? I think I have like 7 now. Oh, 8. I have 8 core fans now. That's sick. That's sick. You're eating chicken strips? Typical. Back on timeout, MJ. I gotta have a special dunce cap for MJ when he goes on timeout like that. But hey, yeah, since we hit +1 on the meter, I don't have time to do it now because I really do need to go meet up with my friend and cook some dinner for us. But I'll spin fire for y'all tomorrow. I'll spin fire tomorrow. I think that's a good idea for me to spin fire tomorrow, because then and I'll do it like towards the end of the meters tomorrow. So hopefully that'll like encourage some people to pop in and support to help us get another +1. Go have a sandwich. Go have yourself a knuckle sandwich. Tell people. I will tell people. I will. So that's why I think it's better. I'll let people know. Announce it in streams. Yeah, I'll tell people. So tomorrow when I'm cruising streams, I'll let people know. And that I'll be doing it at like 8:30 Pacific. Like 30 minutes before the meter ends. That's when I'll start doing the fire. Because I think that'll be enough time. Yeah, I gotta tell Alicia. I talked to her earlier today. With chicken tenders and honey mustard. Yeah, that's a great combo. Alright, stopping the stream. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go raid. Maybe I will go raid. No, I won't, because I should stick around and hang out, and I don't have the time. So I'm leaving. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Have a good rest. See you later.